Hello and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we talk all things Marvel Crisis Protocol and review a different character every week. I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Steven.
Hey, Steven, how's it going?
It's very good, Fred. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Steven is a fellow player who comes down to play with us. How many months he's played in our tournaments every month for the past
4 months.
4 months. He's an excellent player and he's an excellent painter. His models look great. So we're trying a different thing this week. This week we're doing a record in person. We are all around a single recording device, so bear with us for a minute. We're going to be trying this out. Also, Jared's not able to be with us this week, so we're gonna bull forward without him. All right, so how do we want to start this off? Let's start by talking about the news that's come through over the past week since our last record.
Oh, the big news. I know exactly what you're talking about. Testing has begun for Cerebro.
Yeah. Okay.
Testing has begun. It's on people's devices. I'm still working on making it not need the internet, except in spurts. But might have the first version up before too long. That's the big news you're talking about, right, Fred?
Sure. I mean, that is actually big news that you're making that kind of progress. But the big news that I'm talking about is the enormous change to the crises, to the way that the crises work, and to we have new templates to use. We are Brad.
Yeah.
Do you know how these can you sum up some of the changes that have occurred over this effect?
They're real different.
They are real different.
They added a lot too.
So a few stayed the same, but we got...
And some had some very minor tweaks.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we got more, right?
We did.
Technically.
We technically got one new one?
Yeah, well, they also sunsetted one.
They sunsetted one?
Yeah, Terrigen Mist gone.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
Terrigen Mist is gone. Okay. Good riddance.
Paranoia plummets.
Good riddance.
Almost Populous.
Almost Populous is new.
And we have no 14s anymore.
Yeah, no 14s. We have 6 new setups. We have like a little box, so like B, but they're closer side to side. Mayor Fisk, and now instead of being like really far away, are 2 towards the center.
And that's map H, right?
That's map H, yeah. The little box is map G. Map I is kind of like C, but the 2 ends are closer to the deployments. So the middle's in the same place. Map J has 4 spots. It's got 2 middle spots. One slightly on your opponent's side, one slightly on your side. Then the other 2 are where the C ones are. K also has 4. And it has 2 middles that are split side to side instead of front to back. And then L has 6, all in the center. Really close together.
Yeah. So this is a big change. A lot has changed with the crises, and we played a tournament today.
With the new crises.
And I actually don't think that any of the new setups came up during the tournament, which is just
new setup.
That's unfortunate. But how do you guys think that the new crises played, or the new way that the crises work played?
Well, I personally love that there's no all or nothing anymore. So all the ones where you either got 2 or 3 points and your opponent got nothing are gone, except Research Station's still there. So Research Station, you get 2 or 0.
Right.
Or you can get 3 or 0 if you move it far enough.
But the ones that he's talking about are the Alien Core, the Kree Core one, or the Senators. Meteors, yeah.
Sword Base. All those you can get partial points now.
Which I think is probably a very good decision.
The games felt like they weren't runaways.
Oh, yeah, they're very, very close.
Right. It's harder to get a blowout, which I think is probably a good thing for the game. I like these changes. If I'm to be, we were talking recently about how they needed to either add more crises or. Well, that's what we were saying, is that they needed to add more crises. We didn't expect them to change all the existing crises. But I think it's probably a good decision.
And, like, there are just more tokens now, too.
I'm sorry, that was Brandon's phone, and we're all going to stare at him and mock him.
So there are more tokens now. Like Senator, instead of there being one Senator, there are now 6 Senators.
Yes, 6.
Instead of there being one scroll, there are 4 scrolls.
We hadn't yet done Black Cat as a character in our character review section, but this is probably really bad for her and really good for the game.
Yes.
As a total.
It does feel like this was a way for them to nerf one of the other super characters, like, because they nerfed basically everything you want to play her on.
Right.
Yeah.
They made it so that Black Cat was not an auto-include in every single roster.
And the extracts, most of them you can only hold one
Right.
at a time. So there's a couple where you can hold multiple, like cubes you still can.
And hammers.
And hammers.
And Legacy Virus.
And Legacy Virus. I think that's actually all of the ones you can hold.
Yeah.
And then all the rest you can only hold one. So it's really also a nerf to the tall list.
Yeah, it nerfs tall lists.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might hurt some lists, but I think it's probably ultimately a very good decision.
Yeah, it's good for the game.
Mm-hmm. I like this. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Do we want to discuss what point changes have occurred?
I think we should. They seem to be moving away from the extremes like 14 and 20. There are still a couple 20s, but
one of the 20s is now a 17. It's Alien Ship.
Alien Ship is now a 17.
Yeah.
We lost another 20.
Okay, we
Was
lost.
Terrigen miss 20? Okay, so we went from 4 to 2. The 14s changed. There was 2 of them. Sword Base became a 15. And the other one, Senators, is 19, I believe. Yeah, Senators is 19. So
Did they change? Did Research Station used to be 16?
yeah, Research Station used to be 16. Now it's 15.
Okay.
Good catch.
Scrolls used to be 17, now is 20.
Right.
Huh. And there, how many of them are?
Alien Ship and Scrolls changed spots.
Is Scrolls? Are there 6 of them also?
No, there are 4
There are
Scrolls.
4 Scrolls.
There are 4 Scrolls. They are in what shape was that?
It's
J, right?
Oh.
Yeah, it's the J shape where you have a scroll slightly closer to you, and so does your opponent. And then the 2 side ones are where the side C points are.
Okay.
So,
I would be interested to play some of these new ones to see how they play out.
yeah, I had some new ones in my list, and including Paranoia, and it just didn't get drawn.
How do we like Montesi Formula Found being an actual Mystic Beam now?
Is it?
Oh, is it
Mystic
different?
now?
Oh.
Yes.
I did not catch that either. There's so many changes. Where's Montesi in my little thing here? Oh, right here. It is indeed Mystic. That's probably what it should be.
Yeah, that should have been that from the beginning.
That really changes that a lot because Energy was the best. Is the best attack type. So it being the best attack type.
Black Panther and Captain America, watch out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
that
that.
honestly makes. I don't know how often you're actually going to play that now because it is Mystic. Like the big advantage was it being energy.
But the other thing about that is that you cannot add dice to it, so your criticals don't explode, and you cannot do rerolls with it either.
Is that what that means when it says you cannot add dice afterwards? That your crits can't explode?
That was my understanding of it.
Huh.
Maybe.
That might be.
I bet that's going to be asked on the
Yeah, I
forum,
bet that's an
'cause-
FAQ.
Yeah.
Well, I did hear that somewhere, so...
It might very well be
could-
true.
I think it could go either way. I think they probably intended so that Hulk can't add dice and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I don't think they probably intended the crit, but maybe they did. Maybe they did.
Or like Baron Mordo can't buff it.
Yeah.
Or Craven.
Or Craven.
Yeah. Craven.
All right. Well, let's move on. We've spoken about that. So you've already talked about Cerebro, but is there anything else in Cerebro you want to bring up?
No, I guess I can't think of anything. I'm just really excited for it to be out there, people testing it.
Yeah.
It'll get full release soon, free.
He has pulled it up. It is a functional app. It's very cool. It's very cool. Let's move on.
If you want to play test it, you can join the Patreon. All Patreons have access to the test.
Yes. Pay Brad. Give him more money.
He'll buy us nice things and pay us a livable wage.
You get paid.
No, I don't.
Tripling both of your salaries.
Excellent. All right. Well,
I just want lapel mics. All right,
you will never get them.
I won't. You're right.
Let's move on to what we did today. We played a tournament today, and
Wow. Brandon did it.
3 of the 4 of us played in a tournament today.
But all 4 of us did get to play.
Yeah.
You guys play. Oh, yes,
did.
you did. Yes, you did.
you did.
So everybody was generous, and I got to play each one of these individuals at least once today.
Yes.
I forgot you got to play. So you didn't get to play Ryan?
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
we had 4 people today.
Sorry, Ryan.
It was Steven, Fred, and I, and then Ryan also got to play. And Brandon sat out so that we wouldn't have people with buys. So we had a nice little 2-round tournament. I played X-Men. Fred, what'd you play?
I played Cabal and Hydra.
Steven.
I played Spider Foes and Criminal Syndicate.
And Ryan played Asgard.
Mm-hmm.
So the first round, I played Steven.
Correct.
So you played Criminal Syndicate,
Correct.
Kingpin, and I played Storm X-Men. And what were our scenarios?
We had intrusions.
And Spider People.
Correct.
Intrusions says Spider People was mine. I learned Intrusions no longer does damage when you teleport.
Correct.
That's one of the changes. We had a very, very close game.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was very close. I squeaked it out. Let's go over what our list was. I had Storm, Domino, X-23, Magic. I did not play Beast. I played Toad, right? Played Toad that game. And Juggernaut. That was my list.
Excellent. I had Kingpin, of course. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting now. Dr. Octopus.
Yes.
Green Goblin.
Yes.
Craven.
Hood.
Yeah.
Craven.
Yeah.
And Bullseye.
Yes, that is, I think, your entire list.
Yep. We went 19.
Yeah. Lots and lots of teleporting this game.
Oh my goodness.
So much teleporting. Without the damage there, it happens a lot more.
Yeah, sure does.
I did it a lot when it did damage you. So.
Yeah.
And surprisingly enough, I did most of the throwing in this game.
Yeah. We had a pretty empty board at the end. There's some cool moments like Craven dazing Juggernaut at full health in one activation. So in return, after Juggernaut flipped, he punched Craven, dazed him, and then the next turn punched Craven and killed him.
Right, that is correct. Kingpin doing in 4 people at once.
Yeah, he went with Green Goblin, who dazed X-23, and then he played Follow Me into Kingpin dazing Domino, teleporting, dazing Magic, and then throwing
A size 3 terrain.
size 3 terrain and almost getting Toad.
Yes.
And then Toad won the game.
Because he took out Dr. Octopus.
Yeah. It was a very fun game. Fred, you played Ryan. How did your game go?
I did play Ryan. It was also an excellent game. It was very close, but Ryan kicked my ass. It ended up. I forget the exact numbers, but I think it was 16-12. It may have been 17 or 18-12. But I was playing Hydra with Red Skull as my leader, and he was playing Asgard with Thor. I guess that has to be who his leader is. And we were playing on hammers and, Infinity Formula. And it ended up being a game where Red Skull was always not quite close enough to who I wanted him to be close enough to. And he would whiff on the necessary rolls and not get the blitz that I needed him to get. And it was just a case where... But otherwise, it was a very good game. He played Heimdall and Scourge and Hood. And Scourge basically killed everything on that side of the board. It was real bad for me. I had Omega Red and Baron Strucker on the side with Scourge, and Scourge just killed them both. It was it was unfortunate.
What he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
Literally the only thing he does.
That's what Scourge's job is.
But we forgot to say that Brad and I finished. Brad had 18, I had 16. So it was very close.
Very, very close. And so the second round, I played Ryan in the finals, and you two played each other. So why don't you talk about your game?
Sure.
Yeah, so I was playing Red Skull Hydra again.
And I was playing Green Goblin.
Yes, you were. And you had... talk about your list. Talk about your list.
Well, I was running Green Goblin and Doc Ock, of course. By the way, we were on Struggle for the Cube and Infinity Formula.
Yep.
So we were at 17. Oh, geez. Who else did I run? I forgot now.
MODOK, Green Goblin, Bullseye,
And Lizard.
and Lizard.
He's played 14?
He and Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, Dr. Octopus, yeah. Because I remember Dr. And then the others were just like, oh, yeah, okay.
You knew the one model you played, everything else.
Yeah, exactly. And Fred, you took?
I had Red Skull. I had Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
How am I blanking on everything
You had
else?
Arnim Zola.
Arnim Zola, that's right.
You had
Hood. And
Zemo,
of course. I knew all this. I should have known this off the top of my head.
We're playing 17, and you have Skull. That means you have to have 12, so it's 4 3s.
Yeah, I don't think your list changes ever.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
You don't ever play different 17.
Yeah.
Maybe Artem Zola.
Yeah.
You can find another affiliated 3.
Baron Strucker.
Again, a very, very close game. I had 16. Fred won this game with 19 points.
Yeah. So I had a fantastic activation with Hood, where Hood chased off Bullseye, and then he triggered World Domination. And it gave me 2 victory points and extra power on everyone. It was a very good.
That was probably the censure.
That was the censure. That's what got it for me.
Yep, I didn't see it coming. Oh, well.
Hood did the Lord's work in this game. Hood did excellent.
Well, MODOK was doing my work.
Yeah, MODOK was...
oh, my goodness.
Do you know what my method for dealing with MODOK is? Ignore him. Stay outside of 4 and just keep your distance.
Until I'm throwing long things.
Yeah.
And then making you move.
There's only so much I can do.
MODOK's not hard to kill, though.
I mean, you're right, but I was focusing on other things.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but MODOK is... Don't be afraid of MODOK.
I do give Fred credit. He concentrated on my Dr. Octopus with Arnim Zola and Hood, so I could not get off my well-laid plans.
I also would like to mention that I don't think Hood wants to do the Lord's work.
He wants to do the devil's work.
Yeah, he might just putting it out there. It's not really his thing. So.
Well, he did the devil's
he's doing
work.
Good for somebody.
Brad, what happened to your championship game?
Okay, we played 17 points, Infinity Formula and Hammers. And he played, his list was Thor, Angela, Heimdall, and Mr. Sinister.
Who flies?
Who flies. He does not fly. Anyway. And I was playing Storm, X-23, Domino, Beast, Magic, Toad. We tie the first round. The second round, I go up points. The third round, he goes up points. The fourth round, I think we're tied again. And then the fifth round was the final round. The fourth round, I think it was, Thor dazed Storm, Magic, and Domino.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And there was a round where X-23 got Sinister and Heimdall.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. It was a very bloody fight. And it came down to Thor had 3 hammers. And I had to kill Thor and be able to pick up some of those hammers to win. And Magic didn't get there. She left him at 2. And then she teleported over to my B point. And then it's just Storm. And I made the attack. I did the 2 damage. And that gave her 3 power to pick up the 3 hammers and win me the game. So it ended up being 16-18 at the end. Like, it was very, very good game.
So you had some nail biters.
Oh yeah. But this was a tough one to win, but I managed to get there.
All right. Well, it was a really fun tournament. Y'all should come down to some Charleston tournaments. We have pretty good ones.
Yeah.
Brandon, do we want to talk about our game afterwards?
Yeah, there was a game that took place afterwards.
Let Steven talk about it. I didn't do shit.
Oh, well, we both ran Criminal Syndicate. Kingpin on both leaderships. He had Daredevil, Shadowlands. He had Hood. He had Lizard. I said Bullseye, right? Yep.
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
he had Bullseye.
He definitely had Bullseye.
He definitely had Bullseye. There was another character. Oh, can't really.
Black Dwarf.
Black Dwarf. That's right. Thank you so very much. It's hard to remember sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I was running Kingpin also, but I was running Hulk and Lizard with MODOK and Bullseye, and we were running 20 points, and it was
if my character is about to die and be forever lost in the
20-point secure.
sands,
I forget what that's called because I don't have it.
Mike is invincible.
I will find it out. Just keep.
Scoundrels?
Well, what was the point level you played on?
20
points.
20 points.
Yeah.
20 point. Yeah, superpowered scoundrels. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that comes in the rogue box.
And then we also had cubes.
Oh, wow.
Hulk got 2 cubes and then went to town.
Ah, yeah.
Brandon was complaining that I did and he put a lot of damage into Hulk with Black Dwarf. And after that, Hulk woke up with 18 damage on him, and then he went to Beam City. On 27 dice, I got 33 successes on 3 models. 11 successes each.
That is ridiculous. That makes me sick to my stomach. What are you talking about? You got 33. You got 11 successes on 3 different models.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Shadowlands, Lizard, and Black Dwarf.
No wonder Brandon walked away from the table to talk about this game. That is disheartening.
But the bad thing is he got Hulk down, but I still have MODOK there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So you still had enough table presence to.
it was pretty grueling. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't even say the score. Brandon doesn't want to talk about it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on. I think we're gonna try and cut. Oh, is there?
We have one more piece of news we forgot about.
Oh, what's that?
They showed a hammer in a little
that's
preview. It's Beta Ray Bill. Just a spoiler. It's Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill. What's Beta?
Beta Ray Bill is an alien who kind of looks like a horse, who is basically just Alien Thor.
Wait,
Thor,
what?
Thor clone?
So
Yeah.
it's not Thor? It's not
No.
like another Thor?
I mean, he was Thor for a while, and then he got a different hammer and his Beta Ray Bill.
Why is his name Beta Ray Bill?
That's a great question, Fred. I don't know.
That's like the weirdest name.
He's not a mutant. He doesn't know.
No, he's not a mutant.
That's a good
not a
point,
mutant.
Steven.
There's a list floating around on the internet of rumored upcoming releases, and so far it's been 100% accurate, and he's on that list. But at one point I posted pictures of every character in that list.
Yeah.
He was the horse-looking guy that looks like Thor.
Okay. Okay.
He would know Beta Ray Bill if it was Beta Ray Bill Summers.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're right.
Yes. He's not a summer.
But also, we had another reveal, right?
What was the reveal?
The Agent Venom and
Oh, we talked about them last
Yeah.
time.
okay, I must have missed that. I'm
Agent
sorry.
Venom and Spider Girl,
Woman.
Spider Woman. My apologies.
Spider-Girl is May Parker, Peter's daughter that he only has in an alternate universe.
Okay.
But I'm sorry about that blurb. I forgot that you guys covered that.
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, we covered it last time.
So let's move on to who we are doing today. That is Rhino. Rhino came out, and we have some thoughts. So what we'll do is I will go over the single attack, and then we'll go around the table and we'll talk about what the other superpowers are. So this is Rhino. Alexis. Oh no.
Sitsevich.
His name's
Sitsevich.
Rhino.
Sitsevich.
There's a
Alexei
reason he goes by Rhino.
Sitsevich. He has a 3 physical defense, 3 energy defense, and 2 mystic defense. He has 7 stamina on his healthy side, and 6 stamina on his injured side. And he is size 4 with speed short. His first and only attack is Gore. It is a range 3 with 5 dice, and it has 0 cost, and it has the normal builder rules. And before damage is built, you get to place him within range 1 of the target character. Brad, do you want to take the next one?
Yes, because it's my favorite part of the card.
Okay.
His first active superpower is called Stampede. It costs 3. The character is pushed medium, which is pretty far.
Yeah.
He does not stop movement if he contacts size 2 or smaller interactive terrain. Instead, he destroys it, and then you keep moving. And then the next Gore attack this turn, add 2 dice to the attack roll. This superpower may only be used once a turn. This is his spender in disguise.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a range 3, 7 die spender that also gains power for damage dealt and places him. And he gets a medium move off of it. Like, this is a great spender.
Do you know who that's very, very similar to?
Let me think. Juggernaut?
Craven. Because
Oh,
Craven
yeah.
has 5
Yeah.
dice, right? And
Yeah.
then if he follows up with his attack with his spear, he gets an extra 3 dice, which is
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. And he gets a medium move off of it.
Correct.
Yeah. Medium move?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If
Yeah.
he has been placed or moved previously, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So the next, why don't you go through the next power too?
All right. Nobody ever accused the Rhino of good manners. That's absolutely true. It is 3 power, and it's a throw. It's an interactive terrain feature throw, size 4 or less, which is good, within
Pretty
range
good.
2. They're at medium, which
Also
is pretty
good.
good. Pretty good. Once per turn.
Yeah.
Literally a worse version of Black Wolf's throw.
Yeah.
Steven, do you want to take the next 2 superpowers?
Yeah. Okay. So we have an innate superpower called Aggressive. We've seen this before. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, if the character suffered damage, it may advance short towards the attacking character. This is like on Crossbones or Sabretooth.
Yeah, let's go to crossbones first.
Or Scourge, as I learned this past tournament.
Scourge is very good.
Yeah.
And then he has another innate superpower called Ornery. When this character is damaged by an enemy or allied effect, after the effect is resolved, if it is not dazed, it gains 1 power. Very similar to Red Guardian.
Yep.
Or Sin.
And Sin.
Isn't it
Sin.
damage tank, right?
Yes, that is an extra power.
Yeah.
That's an extra power.
And Brandon, do you want to read the last one?
Yeah, I'm allowed to talk again. He has an innate superpower called Rhino Hide. When this character would suffer damage from an enemy effect, you reduce the damage suffered by 1 to a minimum of 1.
All right, so that is Rhino. So what are your guys' thoughts?
He goes down 1 health on his backside.
Oh, yeah. And stamina 6 on the back.
13 total health. I am not starting.
Okay. We got the salt mine over here.
I'll start. I don't mind.
Okay.
I think a 1 point cheaper mini Juggernaut seems pretty good. I think probably better in Spider Foes than in Criminal Syndicate, but I'd be excited to play him in Spider Foes.
Yeah, I mean, we know that he's on a large base too, correct?
Yeah, he's on the biggest base.
He's on a big old base.
So he's on the same size base as Juggernaut, but gets pushed medium.
Which is pretty. His only attack also places him within range 1 of the target.
Yeah,
He does not
he is
gain
so
any extra
fast.
power.
Yeah, he does when he gets hit.
Yeah, but he doesn't gain extra power like Juggernaut can gain extra
Oh,
power.
yeah, just by moving. But he also doesn't need to move. He can make 2 attacks. He can make a 7-die attack and a 5-die
However, Juggernaut
attack.
can attack on the first turn when Rhino's not going to be able to.
True.
Right. But, I mean, once the train gets going, it's
Yeah.
going to be pretty hard to stop, I think.
I just can't get over how fast he is.
He's a good bully.
He
on a
is
flank.
fast. That is what this guy is he's fast tank. He's a fast tanky boy. I think that the way that his movement shenanigans are going to work are going to make him impossible to know where he's going to be for your opponent. Your opponent is never going to know where he is.
Range 3 is so good.
Yeah, it's range 3 on the builder.
Which Juggernaut's only range 2, right?
Yeah.
So
One of his attacks might be range 3, but we're recording on my phone, so I can't look.
What is it? No, Juggernaut?
Yeah.
We're checking Juggernaut. Yeah.
But I think that the role that this guy fills is not exactly Juggernaut's role. I don't think that this is supposed to be a Juggernaut light, even though he has a lot of the same stuff. He seems like a Juggernaut light, but he's not filling the same.
Both the Juggernauts attack.
They're both range 2? Okay.
Okay.
So that makes him more of a threat.
Yeah.
What this guy does is he is a fast-moving big, and that there is certainly a role for that in this game.
He can chase people.
Oh, I bet. I bet he can chase people better than almost anyone.
Ghost Rider.
Okay, well, Ghost Rider. I mean, hey, unless you are on a big hog, he can chase you.
I would agree with that.
So Brandon, you've been kind of quiet. Let's talk to you, and let's.
So Rhino's got 13 total health, which is on the low side for 4-threat models. He rolls 3-3-2 defense, which is flat out bad.
Yeah,
That's not good for a 4-threat model. That's actually just that's bad for a 3-point model.
that is the same defensive stats as Bullseye.
Yes, the average on a 3-point model is all 3s. He has worse defensive rolls than that. Has no defensive tech.
That is no. He has
He does have
damage,
damage,
reduction.
but he has no defensive tech to increase those numbers. So
Okay.
he's going to be taking damage every time he does it. Like, I get that he can move, but he can't protect himself. And that's really hard in a 4-point character because all he can really do is move.
Are you really protecting yourself in Spider Foes?
Just because Spider Foes are bad doesn't mean you want to add more bad to it. I think he does help Spider Foes because Goblin also has a lot of mobility, and this adds a lot of mobility. However, the same problem Goblin has, Goblin just dies.
Yeah.
Like, Rhino is just going to die. Like, every model can die and will die. The difference is, like, when you kill Rhino and he flips, you're not really scared of that side. you're not really scared of him to have 8-9 energy. Like,
Right.
He gets a throw and a stampede and then like a 5-dice
Well,
attack. Like,
I
you're not at a 4-threat model. Like, I'll use Black Dwarf for example because I think that's the best comparison to him. Black Dwarf has 14 health. So he has 1 more health. He has the damage reduction. He has a size 4 throw that also throws a character. But he also has an attack that's 8 dice for 4 power. So he has multiple things that he can do that are just better than Rhino does. And he has better defensive.
I would say Black Dwarf is a better brawler. Okay, I would say
better protector,
right,
brawler.
but that's what his job is.
Yeah.
Rhino is a go out and get something kind of like character.
Yeah, but I mean, when you want that character, you want them to be able to like protect themselves.
But I would counterpoint and say he would have 8 or 9 energy because he's getting that extra energy.
If you want that, but if you want
because
that
he
in,
hasn't dazed.
If you want that in your list, the character that's going to go get something, you just play Black Cat because she moves long and she has stealth.
Well, do you know who I think this person reminds me the most of is the new Logan.
Yeah.
The new
I was
Logan.
going to make that point.
Is
earlier.
it because
it's half as hard as the new one.
I agree. He doesn't hit half as hard
He's
as
not
the
going
new
to hit
one.
as much. I like the mobility, and I like that. My problem is that he's a 4-threat character. I feel like this is a 3-threat model that was placed as a 4-threat. Like he feels like
yeah, and the comparing to Wolverine, he actually does attack first turn. It's just a 5-die attack, not a.
Well, he'll
7.
attack first turn too.
That's what I'm saying. Rhino will because you can
but not with the
move.
stampede. So you have to move and attack.
Yeah, you move and attack, and then you place on the point. That's pretty good.
That's only if most of that, at that point you have to be playing an objective that has a center point.
Yeah, and a lot of them do. There's so much in the
There are
center
a lot
now.
that do. But even then, like at that point, you're going last with Rhino, which is if you're
You don't
smart,
have to.
I think. But if not, if they don't go to the center point, if it's a secure, you just let it sit there. Like if you're playing Superpower Scoundrels, like you just don't go to it until the last. And he's probably going to double move up because now the models that you're playing in Spider Foes are all very expensive. You got to play Goblin, and if you want to play Rhino, you're probably going to play Venom, and now you're at 12, and then you can go 5 wide, but you're probably going to be outmodeled in a lot of scenarios that you're playing because there's a lot of new really wide scenarios.
Yeah.
There are a lot of point scenarios.
Well, I would contend that Spider Foes are not interested in picking things up. They're interested in wiping things out. So they can't pick up things.
That's the problem. They don't do that good a job at that.
Actually, they do.
And he doesn't help. I don't think he helps that argument. I don't think he's going to help you wipe things. If you want to kill things, you play Carnage. There's no world where this guy's ever going to hit as hard as
Well,
Carnage.
I would argue you play Venom instead, honestly.
Yeah, no, you're playing Venom, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry.
In that
You have to play
category.
Goblin and you have to play Venom if you're playing Spider Foes. That's where you're starting.
Yeah.
I just think if you're looking for a third one, you're like, I want to kill stuff. You're probably going to play Carnage. He's the model who's going to go kill stuff. I don't think he's bad. I'm just a little salty because I really wanted him to be a 3-point model, and then I read the card, and he reads like a 3-point model.
Yeah.
His defensive stats make him look like a 3-point model, and the health line is on par. There are 3-point models with 13 health.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be the only one. So I just feel like this was a 3-point model.
There's no 3-point models with damage reduction and 13
Yes,
health.
that's correct. Yeah. But I would have
Luke
been
Cage
fine.
comes closest.
Yeah,
And I would have been fine because he has 12. He has 12 in damage reduction. And
which is
bodyguard.
insane.
No,
Well,
he has 11. He has 11.
6'5"?
He's a 6'5".
So he was.
That's
so
more
Lizard's.
reasonable.
So Lizard's the same way.
But Lizard can heal.
Yeah, Lizard's
Oh my
6'5" with
God.
healing factor and damage.
Yeah.
Nerf Lizard.
Like I said,
Lizard's really good.
That's what I'm saying. This feels like a 3-point model. I don't think he wants to. If you want to do Stampede and nobody ever accused
I
him.
think I know why they made him a 4-point model, though. I will agree with you. But there is no 3-point model on a 65 millimeter base.
Yeah.
And as Rhino, as a character in the comics, I'm not sure he deserves a 65 base.
Is he not that big of a guy?
He's not as big as Juggernaut.
Yeah, if you're
Okay.
comparing him to the other models on a 65
The
millimeter
bruisers.
base,
He's more like a thing.
yeah, he probably should have been on a medium base. In theory, medium base would have fit that character. Because the only other model that probably doesn't deserve a large base is Ghost Rider, but he's on a motorcycle, so he gets a
Yeah.
large base. The motorcycle adds that up. Rhino is, he's fine. It's that 3/3/2 is scary. That 2 is really scary.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mystic attacks on this.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he's going to be able to survive very
Magic
well.
stock keep going up.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing is, you run Magic into Rhino and it's fucking over. Like, that is not going to go well. He is going to cry and complain and but I mean, he does things that are good. Like he has the terrain throw. I wish if it was a character throw, it would have made more sense for him to be 4th threat. In my opinion, I think that was the thing they missed out at making him in 4th threat.
But they're getting away from that too.
Yeah, I am curious. I think there's going to be a tactics card that does something kind of insane.
I bet you're right. I bet this guy.
He has three.
He has 3.
I think one, and my guess is honestly a rampage attack where he can attack multiple models.
Yeah, I think that this is a model that is begging for some tactics cards, and he will be getting
If
it.
he gets an illicit tech style level of tactics card that's associated with him directly, he's going to be worth that 4 points. I mean, people played Crossbones because of illicit tech. Crossbones is bottom 3 models in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Right there with Scott Summers.
Right there with Jean Grey.
And his wife.
Jean Grey.
And his wife.
I forgot
We're
she
gonna save
existed
our
for a
we're
bit.
gonna save our Jean Grey takes. We got a recommendation on to do Jean Grey, so we'll be reviewing that model soon.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
In the new scenarios, did Viper's stock go up?
No, probably not.
Okay.
And Viper's not that bad. Viper does things. Viper's
Yeah.
biggest problem is she has one affiliation.
Yeah, we're not talking about
two.
Viper.
Hydra and Cabal.
Is she in Hydra now?
She's in Hydra now. Well, that's neither here nor
She's in
there.
Hydra.
Yeah.
Well,
I just forgot that existed.
I was just being snarky.
But to be fair, her stock went up as soon
be
as
fair.
Hydra came out.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
playable in Hydra.
Yes. Yes.
But we can get away from that. But I'm not as high on Rhino as everybody else. Part of it is because I really wanted him to be a 3-threat character. I don't know if this would be a bad. I really do feel like he was that 4 changed late in development. I feel like maybe he was too good at 3, and they probably gave him health and added. He was probably 6'5" with everything he has at 3 points, and they probably felt like that was too good. I don't know if he had. I think he had the big base at 3, and
That would have been one of the first decisions they made.
and they had him at 6'5", and I think they felt like they went during their placing. I think they felt like that was too good. They added the health on each side, and they made him 4, but they didn't change the defense. There's no reason he has 3 physical defense. There's no.
That's pretty
There's
low.
no, for that type of character, Lizard has 4. Every character we've mentioned has 4 physical defense.
I wonder if he's going to get a defensive tactics card. I bet he will.
He could.
I
Get,
think that's
he
something.
could get a Heroes for Hire style tactics card.
Okay, that would be interesting. That would be interesting.
I don't. They've done such a good job since Electra that I try not to hold that against them. But these models have been very well balanced. I don't think we've had a model that's got a really bad grade that's been new in a while since Electra that I can remember off the top of my head. I know we weren't super high on the Weapon X models, but I think those have been slightly proven wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tactics cards really helped.
Yeah, the tactics cards really help, and I think he's going to be in that same boat, getting 3. I think we're going to get some that are going to be very good. Like I said, I think one's going to be an attack. I would actually put my collection on the line, saying I think I would guarantee one's an attack.
Oh, I bet you're probably right.
And I would be surprised if it's not an area attack or a shield throw attack where you get to attack and then move, get placed, and then attack someone else, and you can get placed to kind of chain attacks.
That would be neat. I hope that that's the case. I hope that it's an attack that's worth taking because there
I
are
think
very
that makes
few.
a lot of sense for the comic side.
Yeah,
He would
absolutely.
hit so he would come hit me. If Fred was near, he would go hit Fred, and he would go hit Brad. He would just kind of chain attack. I think that's really nifty, and I believe they said something on the original when they announced him that he was going to have something that nobody else had.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I could be wrong on that, but I thought I remember hearing or reading somewhere that they said he was going to have something that no one else had. This card has nothing that no one else has.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on to our letter grades. I guess I'll start us off with the letter grade. So I like him. I like how mobile he is.
There's Fred shooting for the stars.
But I think that Brandon probably brings up a lot of very good points. I will concede that. I'm gonna give him a B-. I think that's probably a fair placement.
I feel like I swayed your grade.
You probably did.
that's
You
way-
probably did. I was definitely going to be up in the higher Bs.
Yeah,
in the
I feel
higher
like you were at
Bs.
that B plus A minus.
I think I was. All right, Steven.
You're up.
Well, I do like a lot of the stuff that he does, but barring that we don't know what the tactics cards are.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the hard part. We're just doing just card ratings.
Yeah. I'm going to say it's a B minus. He might go up to B plus,
The tactics
But-
cards can sway him very much.
but I don't think he's going to be found in other affiliations.
Nah.
Right.
I think he's going to stay where he's at.
And I'm not sure he sees a lot of play in Criminal Syndicate.
So B minus
he's-
right now. It could go up depending on tactics cards.
Brad, what are you giving him?
I'd give him a B. I like what he does. I'm excited to play him.
Brad coming in hot, the only person with a the high. This is the first time I think you've ever been the highest grade.
We're good. We're good. And what about you, Brandon? What are you giving him?
Oh yeah, we're okay. So my biggest issue I have with him, we knew two of his affiliations, and probably his only two affiliations are going to be Criminal Syndicate and Spider Foes. Until Spider Foes gets more, there's still going to be a mid-tier
Yeah.
affiliation. I don't think he fits in with Kingpin. I don't think he fits in with Shadowland Daredevil. I think Criminal Syndicate has better 4-point models with Omega Red. I think Omega Red's better. Shadowland Daredevil's better, and Kingpin are better. Those aren't really going to be for debate. I think they even have another 4th threat model that I can't think of off the top of my head. Killmonger. I'd argue Killmonger's better.
I agree.
I would argue Killmonger's better, especially with Shadowland. I don't even think
Yeah.
that's very close.
Yeah.
He might not be better with... Rhino's probably better than Killmonger with Kingpin. I would take that.
Because he's size 4.
Yeah, but the big thing is with Criminal Syndicate, you're in that scenario where you're that spot is probably an unaffiliated spot that he's going to fit in. So he's taking away from the Blob. I play Black Dwarf a lot. I don't think you would rather have him than those models if you're playing Kingpin Criminal Syndicate or another unaffiliated stand-in. I'm going to go with a C. I would like to make it a C incomplete because I do think I am hoping his tactic cards make him better. I would like 2 really good ones and then 1 really fun one is what I want from his 3 tactics.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if there's anywhere he truly fits in. If you're wanting to just play all Spider Foes, he's probably in your roster. I don't know how much he makes on the table. So I'm on a little bit of an incomplete path.
Okay.
On Rhino.
That is a thank you for enlightening us. Thank you for giving us the Rhino takedown.
And I was stupid excited for this model.
Yeah.
I was very excited for this model.
Yeah.
So
All right. So normally we go on to Brad's comic book recommendations at this point. Do we think that we should flip Brandon and Brad's segment just because I feel like it fits?
mine's not long.
Yeah, go ahead.
Brandon, go ahead and put him in a roster for
My
us.
list is, I think, and Brad will probably yell at me because he's played more of this affiliation than I definitely have. I don't know if either of you, but I know Fred's never played them. I don't know if you have or not.
What's that?
Brotherhood.
Oh, no, negative.
I actually think he fits in decently well in Brotherhood for the scenarios where you want a Juggernaut-like effect, but do not have the points to spare to play Juggernaut. I think you can then build your list around always taking Magneto, Juggernaut, and then probably Mystique and Toad. And then if you get that 1 number less, you can plug Rhino in, and you still get those effects. I think you're going to be sad, but I do think it's something that might help you. I think Brotherhood is always kind of struggling those lower point games when they play Magneto or want to only play
if
Magneto.
they play Magneto, yeah.
However, to be my own contrarian is that you probably just build it with more Mystique characters and play a Mystique wide list at those lower levels because Mystique's very good, Blob and Pyro very good. They've got a lot of help. So.
Make direct eye contact.
That's what I got from this. I think he fits in decently well with Brotherhood.
Yeah, I just feel bad playing him.
Yeah, you're probably
Yeah, I want
not-
to play mutants.
Yeah, you're not going to feel great. I mean, you can pretend
I'll
he's
play
actually
mutants.
a Rhino and mutate it into a Rhino to make it feel that way. I think he fits in those scenarios because, like I said, I know Brotherhood players have complained a lot about having awkward numbers on their rosters. Like, so I think having a 4 that does something drastically worse than the 5 you want to play every time.
Okay. Let's move on to Brad's comic book recommendation.
Okay, so I haven't read very many comics with Rhino. I just not something I'm interested in, but I've got a couple recommendations. These sound interesting. I might actually read them because I have not read them. So the first one is Spider-Man's Tangled Web 5 and 6. This is Peter Milligan and Duncan Fegredo. And Rhino saves a mob boss's daughter and is hired as a bodyguard. And he's told by the woman he saved that he's too stupid to be a romantic interest or really even a rival for her father. And so he visits the scientist that made his latest suit at the time, and they make him into a super genius.
Oh boy.
And he ends up dating the girl and getting tired of her because he finds her boring now that he's a super genius. And he takes over her father's mob and is really successful, but finds that he's lost the joy in life. And this is a kind of a take on Flowers for Algernon, and the series is called Flowers for Rhino.
Oh my gosh.
And it sounds like a lot of fun. So I read it. It sounds great. And then the second one, when I was doing my research, I found some people who said that this is by far their favorite Rhino story, and it makes you feel sorry for Rhino and really emphasize what input. Oh my God! Thank you. My brain is fried from this tournament today.
I know.
I've been having trouble with language since the second round of the tournament. But it's called Fallen Sun: The Death of Captain America 4, and by Jeff Loeb and David Finch. So Captain America has died. Spider-Man's feeling bad about it. And so he's going to visit the graves of some of his fallen loved ones, and his spider sense goes off, and he finds that Rhino is in the cemetery, and he attacks him, and Rhino's just there visiting the grave of his mother, doing nothing wrong, and Peter attacks him for no reason. And then Peter does something really terrible and pisses Rhino off a lot more. And read the story. It sounds great.
All right.
American Revolution.
Well, I've got a question about Rhino, actually.
Okay.
So he's a guy in a military mech suit. Is that correct?
No,
What,
not in
what's
the
deal?
comics.
No, that was a Amazing Spider-Man 2 twist.
Okay.
Yeah. He is, I believe he's had some sort of gene treatment or something, and then has an impervious suit. But it's not a mech suit.
It's very similar to what happened to Lizard, right? Except
No. It's actually a suit.
No,
that
I'm talking
Yeah.
about what gave Lizard the height. It was the same kind of genetic treatment.
I'm not
But
I'm
Lizard
not
was
sure.
trying to do something different. They were each failed scientific experiments.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Lizard
more what I was
Lizard
getting
did it to himself. He was trying to regrow limbs.
at. Yeah.
And
Which is
I don't know exactly what Rhino is because I haven't really read any Rhino comics, and I don't even remember what they did on the animated series.
Yeah. I think in the anime series, it was very similar. I always got him and Bane in the same aspect that they were just ginormous, injected humans.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to my non sequitur recommendation. So Rhino, the way my interaction with the character Rhino is from the Spider-Man video game, and in the Spider-Man video
Spider-Man
game,
2 on the PlayStation 1?
no, Spider-Man
Spider-Man
on
PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 4.
Oh.
The
lamer.
the
No,
best
that's cool.
one.
I mean,
But that's neither here nor there. That's not what I'm recommending. What I'm recommending is a game that came out this year. It is a video game called Citizen Sleeper. It is a game about it is a sci-fi story about a robot who is finding his humanity on a space station, and it is a touchingly well written story, and it's free on Xbox Game Pass right now if you want to play it. It is an excellent game, and I highly recommend it. And that'll do us today for our Rhino recommendation, for our Rhino episode. Oh, heavens. I'm also burnt out from the tournament. Thanks for coming and joining us, everybody. And thank you to Steven for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, very much. It's always nice to have a fourth.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's better than me just yelling at Fred and Brad that they're wrong. You gotta yell at Fred, Brad, and Steven that they're wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
We're not that far apart in our grades either. I mean, I give him a B minus,
and we've
you give
been
him
much
a C.
closer lately. I feel like I've just hammered you down. Got you away from giving everybody an A.
I was definitely not giving everybody an A.
And you get a rainbow, and you get a lollipop.
Yeah. I don't know. There was a while there you were just like, he's great. Everything's wonderful. So, no, I think the grades were fair. Like I said, I think the tactics cards will change them, but overall, pretty quick episode. Well, glad everybody tuned in.
Yeah, we'll see how this one turns out. All right. We have some background noises in the background. Sorry about that, everyone.
I do apologize for that. But.
Yeah, well, everyone, thank you for joining us on Crit Hit Wild, and have a wonderful day.
Come back.